Hey, you guys. So we're just going to continue on here, and we're talking right now about supplements. And one of the things that I've been talking about here is these fats and the importance of omega-3 fats that everybody needs, and we just are not getting it these days. So I was talking about the wild Alaskan. Let me get back to this. Yeah, so the wild salmon oil. Other than doing cod liver oil, this is the other one that I recommend. You're not going to get the K2 that you're going to get with the fermented cod liver oil, but you're still going to get the vitally important EPA and DHA. Again, remember, you guys, our brains really need this good fat, the ability to think, to be able to function. Also, not to forget, as I said, with the animal, you're going to get the A and the D together. And there's a picture of the brand. So the next kind of fat I want to talk about, nobody hardly ever talks about, it even helps you lose weight, and everybody likes that, is gamma linolenic acid, GLA. It's the most overlooked healthy fat out there. So most people today, health buffs or not, are deficient in GLA, a critical omega-6 fat. Now, normally we all get too much of the omega-6. They're everywhere surrounding us. But this one's overlooked, particularly by those seeking to lose weight and to reduce inflammation. While other healthy fats, such as weight loss boosting coconut oil and muscle building CLA, get all the headlines, GLA gets little to none, and it's vitally important. A number of factors can easily inhibit your body's conversion of linoleic acid, LA, to GLA, even when plenty of LA is present in your diet. And if you have any of these conditions, you can't make the conversion. And that would be the overconsumption of sugar and refined grains, insulin resistance or diabetes, thyroid problems, pituitary problems, a tendency to overeat, or if you're already overweight. Consumption of trans fatty acids would be any other foods that are cooked for you, and anything in box containers. There are also organic salad dressings have these trans fats in them, like soybean oil. So overconsumption of alcohol could also keep you from being able to even convert to get this GLA. Deficiencies of protein, zinc, biotin, B6, B12, and vitamin E. Being vegan can keep you from being able to make the conversion. Stress can. And age, the older we get, the less we make this conversion easily. Most people do need to supplement a GLA. So there are those who are genetically unable to make this conversion, and we call them obligate carnivores. Usually these individuals have ancestors who consumed lots and lots of preformed D6D metabolites in the form of organ meats and fish. Societies following a carnivore diet, such as Eskimos or the Maasai, they only eat complete meat, and I think the Maasai also adds the blood, would be populations particularly prone to this GLA deficiency due to hereditary factors. So GLA deficiency is far more common than believed today. Unfortunately, it is one of the last things that practitioners consider or test for when any of the problems below manifest. So if you have any of these problems, the chances that you might be GLA deficient is pretty high. So premature aging, IBS, cirrhosis of the liver, eczema, acne, allergies, keratosis, which are the little bumps on the upper arms or legs, PMS, and other monthly problems like heavy menstrual bleeding, non-cancerous breast tissue, Sjogren's syndrome, rheumatoid arthritis, alcoholism, diabetes, and cancer. Inflammatory conditions of all kinds are usually you have a LA deficiency or GLA. So let's just look at this. What are the kinds of supplements you can do for this? If you suspect that you got a lot of inflammatory problems in your body, and it might be the cause of your health issues, there's two solutions. First, consume more organ meat, such as liver. I use a liverwurst that I adore. Traditional foods like this contain preformed D6D to fill the gap where your body is not creating the enzyme itself for whatever reason. Organ meats also contain small amounts of GLA. Consumption of the D6D metabolites allows your body to synthesize the GLA. If you weren't making the conversion, start eating liver. If you have a lot of inflammation, you got rheumatoid arthritis and all sorts of body issues, this could be great for you. The second alternative would be to consume it directly. That would be to buy it. Unfortunately, there's not many foods that contain the preformed GLA. The seed oils do contain it most. So I like to use borage oil. It has 20 to 24% GLA. It's already preformed. Black currant oil has 17% of the GLA. Evening primrose oil has 10% GLA, and hemp seed oil has 3. So you might want to consider, if you don't want to eat the liver. By the way, if you don't want to eat liver, you can buy it in desiccated capsules now. You can just get capsules that are dried liver. So that would be easier than having to eat it. But these are the oils you can buy. Now we're going to get into vitamin C. Vitamin C is a powerful antioxidant. I mean, it's a rare person, even a person who's not into health at all, who has not heard about vitamin C. It's a water-soluble nutrient that's needed for numerous biological functions, including tissue growth and repair, strength of capillary walls, lactation, preventing adrenal fatigue, formation of collagen, healing of wounds. It's best known for its ability to shorten the common cold, and that's what everybody has really heard about vitamin C about. Most vitamin C, though, is not really vitamin C at all. It's something called ascorbic acid. And many of the supplements are made from their synthetic ascorbic acid. It's actually a lab-created version. So it's not usually found anywhere in nature. Those little boxes of something called Emergency and their little foil packs, that would be an example of the fake ascorbic acid. If you're eating that, that's something you really would like, you should avoid and get a better vitamin C. So there's a lot of that on the market, by the way. So ascorbic acid, while proven to kill bacteria effectively, is not discriminatory. So it will kill all bacteria, which means even your good bacteria, this synthetic lab created. Food sources of vitamin C do not harm your beneficial probiotics inside your gut. Synthetic vitamin C and ascorbic acids do. They can wipe out your good flora. So regular ascorbic acid is synthesized from I'm talking about the bad stuff, the ones that you see in the little packets out there, the ascorbic acid. It's usually made from GMO corn syrup. So most supplements with ascorbic acid are not something you really want. They're made from a genetically modified corn or beets. So natural vitamin C is also destroyed by heat, and so you want to get low heat processed. Here's the food sources of vitamin C I buy them in powdered form, and I keep it. I mix these powder forms together, and then I use my own capsules, and I put them in the capsules myself because wild camu berries are the world's richest source of natural vitamin C, 30 to 50 times more than an orange of vitamin C. Acerola is something all of us older people remember. That's been around a long time. It's one of the richest natural sources of ascorbic acid. This is true ascorbic acid, not synthetic, and contains a plethora of phytonutrients like carotenoids, phenolenics. You can just see all the flavonoids. This fruit contains a huge amount of ascorbic acid in the range of 1,500 to 4,500 milligrams per 100 grams. That's 50 to 100 times more than that of an orange or a lemon. There is also between 1,150 to 2,500 milligrams of vitamin C in rose hips per 100 grams. I mean, these are great sources right here. The next thing I want to talk about is zinc. Zinc is huge. If you've been involved in reading things about the COVID crisis and people wanting to get supplements, it was even understood that some of the prescription drugs that were being used for COVID were not even going to work well without zinc. And many people are zinc deficient. Zinc has a variety of important functions, and it's also one of the most common deficiencies. Zinc is needed for proper growth, supporting immunity, balancing proper blood sugar and metabolic rate, and plays a large role in promoting prostate health. Dietary sources of zinc are best absorbed from animal sources where it is not bound to phytates. Plants have phytates and lectins. It's very hard to get the minerals to be released from it. But animal sources are not like that. So organs such as kidneys and liver, veal, red meat such as beef and lamb, and seafood such as oyster scallops and other shellfish are very high sources of zinc. Zinc has incredible benefits in healing and repairing damaged skin, including wound healing, and because it is also an antioxidant, it protects against UV radiation. I am an advocate of the sun and getting your vitamin D naturally. If you know you're going to be out for hours in the summer, a zinc sunscreen, which is natural, you don't have to get these fake sunscreens that are loaded with carcinogens. So you can get something like zinc oxide. You know, you see lifeguards with the white on their nose, that's zinc oxide. It blocks the sun from burning them. But zinc oxide is now available in clear forms, and it doesn't have chemicals and harmful ingredients, okay, that the sunscreens contain. It's important to note that zinc regulates the release of vitamin A from the liver, another important skin nutrient. In regards to acne, zinc is especially helpful in working as an anti-inflammatory agent, helping in prevention of breakouts on the skin, and also decreases scarring. So a simple test you can do to tell if you're zinc deficient, the percent of the daily value they recommend is 15, but most people should need 30 or higher. A good way to test your zinc status is by doing a simple taste test at home. You take a small amount of liquid zinc sulfate, it is cheap on Amazon or anywhere. Zinc sulfate does not cost much. You take 1 tablespoon in your mouth for up to 30 seconds. If you immediately taste something other than water, such as a metallic or a bitter taste, this can indicate a good zinc status. The longer it takes for you to taste anything, within 30 seconds to taste something other than water, the more deficient you may be in zinc. So here's the forms: zinc gluconate, acetate, sulfate, picolinate, orotate, and citrate. Gluconate is usually the over-the-counter forms, lozenges and nasal sprays. Acetate is added to cold lozenges. Sulfate has been shown to reduce the severity of acne, and it helps eradicate warts. I like sulfate myself. Picolinate is probably the most common out there. It's a chelated form of picolinate. It's going to usually be on the market. Usually they have about 30 milligrams. Orotate is bound to orotic acid and one of the most common types of zinc supplements on the market. Citrate is well absorbed as zinc gluconate, but has a less bitter, more appealing taste. How much should you take a day? Depends on the type. Every supplement type contains a different amount. Example, zinc sulfate contains about 23% of elemental zinc. So 220 milligrams of zinc sulfate would equate to about 50 milligrams of zinc a day. This amount is usually listed on the label of your supplement, making it easy to determine how much you should take to meet your daily needs. For adults, the recommended daily dosage is typically 15 to 30 of elemental zinc. I do want to now get into probiotics. What are they? Our bodies are like an ecology. We have a gut area especially that is like ecology. We have good and bad bacteria that we like to have in a balanced form. The body tries to always keep itself in something called homeostasis, which means balance. Many things can wipe out the good flora in our gut. One of them is being on any prescription drug. We know that antibiotics can wipe it all out, but lots of coffee, caffeine, taking a lot of over-the-counter medications, taking hay fever medication, taking a lot of aspirin, any of these things, eating a lot of sugar wipes out the good probiotics in the gut. So I really encourage people to take them. I think they're highly valuable. As a Weston A. Price chapter leader, I really encourage things like raw milk kefir, eating sauerkraut, eating any types of these fermented foods that are going to restore that gut bacteria. So probiotics, okay, and think of what I just said. There's a pill we all can take from a doctor called an antibiotic. Antibiotic simply means, in English, anti-life. So a probiotic is pro-life. So we're actually, with antibiotics, killing all the bacteria in the gut as well, good and bad inclusive, both. Or you take a probiotic, which actually is adding and giving life-giving bacteria to our guts. So we want this friendly bacteria. Thousands of strains prevent the overgrowth of bad stuff like candida yeast and fungus and junk that likes to grow in the gut. There are so many probiotic supplements out there. They're hugely important to our health and immunity, especially if we have taken antibiotics or other gut flora altering meds, even like the pill for women. The fact is that the bacteria living in and on your body outnumber human cells, according to the Microbiome Institute. It is clear that selecting the best probiotic supplement to support and sustain your microbial activity in your gut, working synergistically with your biological system, is a critical decision. There are 3 main probiotic types. How to choose the best for your particular situation. What are the best and the most effective? Are soil-based probiotics important? Do particular strains matter? Does it matter if they're refrigerated? While specific strains have been studied for certain applications, generally there's 3. These are the main 3 types. There's lactobacillus-based, bifidobacterium-based, and soil-based organisms, also called SBOs. I like to look at getting all of them. The bifidobacterium is usually in the bowel, and the others are usually in the smaller intestine. But the next video here is the final of the 4 here. We're going to get into probiotics and enzymes here at the end. And I'm going to cover that in the next one, and I'm going to see you guys here in a few minutes. Follow